Hannah. So today we're going to be doing a super simple makeup look. I'm going to be mentioning all the products that I use, but I had a lot of people mention to me that they wanted a really simple and easy, natural, everyday makeup look. I love this look and it's something that I honestly wear a lot. There are little tweaks that I make here and there, but for the most part, this is about it. If you're interested on how to get this look, keep watching. All right, let's get started. So obviously this is my bare face. So I have a couple things that I normally start with, and that's a moisturizer and a primer. So right now I have the Milk Makeup, the vegan milk moisturizer, and I just got a little one because I hate having to invest in a large size and then not, you know, not love it or not use it all. So I like the small sizes. So I just get some on my finger. Going outwards. It's okay if you get a little pink. I normally do after all this stuff, just because you're kind of like getting the blood flow going. Now I go in with my primer. Right now I'm using the Pure Canvas Primer. It's the hydrating one, and this is by Mercier. So not that much. And then I just do whatever's left over my eyelids. If I'm doing something more dramatic with my eyes, I will start with my eyes and then do my face, just because a lot of times this dramatic, crazy colors sometimes can have some more fallout. The dust that kind of falls from the shadow and lands on your cheekbones or your under eyes, it's just kind of messy. And if you have your face makeup already done, then you don't want to have to go back in and, you know, touch all that up. I mean, I guess you can, but it's just extra unnecessary steps. So I like to start with my eyes. If I'm doing like natural, which is what we're doing today, then I will start typically with my base, because I don't like to have to do too much to my eyes, and that's just personal preference. I did have eyelash extensions for quite a while, and I didn't feel like I needed to do a bunch of eyeshadow or anything like that. So I focus on my skin. That's just what works best for me and my routine. So if you feel like you want more attention onto your eyes, then girlfriend, you're more than welcome to. Then what I like to do is start with concealer when I'm doing my base. And so this is the Nars, the Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Medium 1. This is just the one that I've been loving recently. I really like the Maybelline one. That one's really good. It reminds me a lot of this one. I start underneath my eyes. I have a beauty blender. I wet that sponge down. I just feel like it gives me a really nice blend when the sponge is wet. Some people do it dry. It just absorbs way too much in my opinion. Blend all that out into the inner corner. And this one's really light. Like, you can still see through to my skin. It's a very light coverage, which I like if I'm doing just a really simple, like a natural kind of makeup. I like something that's a little bit more sheer. And what I actually do is I use this as a base for my lids. My eyelids have been just my eye area in general has been so dry recently. And I honestly think it's because I started a new skincare routine and I'm trying to avoid my eyes, but I can't help it. And then I like to go over any place where I have like excessive redness. So right now I have some breakouts on my chin area and then the center of my forehead. And then my nose gets a little red. So I just go over and touch that up. Helps make everything even before I start on the rest with foundation. It gives me a really nice base beforehand, so I'm a little bit more even. Definitely don't have to put this all over your face like I'm doing, but like I said, I like having a little bit more coverage. This is the Nars Santa Fe Sheer Glow in, it's like medium 2, but the color's Santa Fe. So I like to put some on my hand. This is the foundation. So I go in circular motions. This is a Sephora Pro brush. Again, this isn't something, you don't have to spend a ton of money on brushes. e.l.f. makes some nice ones. Luxie makes some that are really nice. Morphe does too. But this is one that I have. It's the Pro Airbrush by Sephora. It's the number 55. It's just like a foundation brush. I like to go in circular motion, so I dab a little bit off of my hand. For the foundation, I typically start on the lower half of my face and make sure that it actually blends really well. This one is the one that I've been using the past couple days, so I know that it blends like half decently. And then I do like to go in and give myself a nice like bronze look, but I'll do that with obviously bronzers and stuff like that. This is definitely like a medium to full coverage. If I wanted to make it even more full coverage, I could put more concealer, or I could put more of the foundation just layered up a little bit more. And then I go in with a powder. I like to use a translucent powder. The one that I've been using right now is technically not translucent. It is an illuminating powder, but again, I like that look. So I like to use like a big brush and I dip into the top of it. And I get the cap because of course that just is like ridiculous too much. So I tap some of that off and then I'll keep using that. So this is just a really big brush that I like to use. So I like to do this step because I want it to set my skin, my base, and then I'll go in with your bronzer and all that other stuff, but it gives it a good transition. If I go right away from my foundation to my bronzer without doing this step, there's nothing wrong with that. The blend just might not be the prettiest, and what you can get is places where it catches. So let's pretend I'm like doing bronzer. If I'm doing this back and forth motion, it might like pick up some of my foundation if I don't have something almost like a barrier. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Oh, I forgot how good it smells. This one smells so good. Okay, so I have a Morphe brush. It's the M105. This smells like sunscreen to me, but it's so yummy. Okay, so you'll want to dip. I like to follow it underneath my cheekbone. And I like to go in circular motions, and I'm just one of those people, I prefer it to be really light in the beginning, and I can work and make it a little darker if I need to. Oh, I forgot how much I loved this bronzer. I like to go across my forehead, all the places that naturally the sun would hit and you would get a little bit darker. So now I just follow this underside here. And same thing, I just keep going, like swiping back and forth, circular motions. When I'm doing something super simple and natural, I like to stick to the shades that I'm already using. So this bronzer that you just saw me put on the rest of my face, before I go in and finish up my face, what I typically do is I go ahead and just pick up this bronzer and I get a really soft, fluffy brush. This is one by the brand Mirabella. Honestly, any soft, fluffy brush is gonna help you with that. I'm gonna dip right into my bronzer, tap off leftover or some excess, and that becomes my crease. So really quickly, I mean, this shouldn't take a super long time. But the reason I typically use my bronzer is because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time doing my makeup. If you saw in my last video, like, I love taking care of other people and helping them look and feel their best. I don't like doing that so much to myself. So if I can cut back and save time doing my makeup, girl, I'm going to do that. And that's the biggest reason why I was doing eyelash extensions. Of course, with all this, like, the place I was going to closed with good reason. And so here we are, bare lashed and everything. So I've went ahead and placed it all over the crease in circular motions. And because this is so light and soft, it helps bring everything together. In the summertime, and because I wanted this to be more of a natural, summery kind of look, in the summertime I actually like to use more coral tones and peachy tones, and so this is one that's very affordable. It's called Apri-Cot in the Middle. It's from Wet n Wild. It's super affordable. I think it's like $1 or $2. I actually use the exact same brush for the blush than I did for the bronzer. Again, because I'm lazy. That's why. So tap a little bit. Joey says that I look like a psychopath when I'm doing this, but it's okay. It's gonna look good. So you typically want to smile so you can see your cheekbones. So I go in circular motions from the little apple of my cheeks, and I bring it all the way up. I like to use highlighter. This is the Bronze and Brighten. It's a little trio, and it's by the brand Pure. So it has a blush, a little bronzer, they call it Mineral Glow, and then Afterglow, which is the highlighter. So that's what that is. So we'll be using the highlighter. So I just like to use a soft fluffy brush. This is another Morphe brush. It's an M510. Go ahead and tap into that middle shade there. This I like to do where you would naturally see like a glisten. So circular motions, I go on that little apple part of the cheek, blend it up. I think it's just so beautiful. And then I like to go a little bit above my brow. So typically you'd want to put this where the light would hit it. So, oh my gosh, it just is like so delicious. So I like to use this highlight shade as well on my brow bone. So again, back into that highlight shade, and you'll want to go in and on the brow bone and then your inner corner. You could use different shades for this. This is just what's going to be your best everyday, very natural. So I typically do a look like this if I am just gonna run some errands, or honestly I do this going to work all the time. I probably should wear a little bit more than this with my job, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. So this inner corner, and I kind of have fun with it. So I bring it down slightly farther because my concealer was very sheer underneath my eyes. I like to give it a little bit more brightness. So I don't know if you can see the difference between this one and this one. It just helps make it look more awake, a little bit brighter, and I bring it up into that area here. So very soft, but just a little bit brighter. I like to grab just like a gold shade to place over my lid with just my finger. Here, what I like to do is I'll curl my lashes, apply some mascara. So the other day, actually, I was asking for recommendations for mascara because I haven't needed to use mascara in forever, and so yeah, I had to go and get some earlier today. Two that were recommended to me was the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Lash Paradise, which is this one, and I just bought the Blackest Black. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is supposed to be like the Better Than Sex mascara. I think. I have actually also been using a lash serum because, oh wow, I'm liking this one. But no, so I started using a lash serum for my lashes because after I took my eyelash extensions off, I missed them. I missed them very much, but all salons and spas and stuff like that in our area are closed now, and it's just really hard to find someone to do them. So I just decided it's okay. I start by brushing them. I like the little pencils that have the spoolie on the end. This one happens to be by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's the Brow Wiz in the color medium brown. What I like to do is after I brush it, a lot of times I feel like they look pretty good, especially if my brows are done. And so since I did my brows before we started this, I feel like they look pretty good after brushing them. But what I want to do is just fill in certain areas. So the tail end of my brow, I'm just going to fill in slightly just to make it nice and even there. Slightly fuller on that tail end there. I typically only do the tail, and then I'll go in and do this very underneath part right there in the front section. And that's just because I'm a little bit more sparse in that section. Okay, what do they say? They're sisters, not twins. Our brows are sisters, not twins. Alright, okay, so now I like to go in and do my lips. Typically, I will just wear like chapstick or a really soft lip gloss. To be honest, there are a lot of times that I just don't wear anything. I'll just make sure to wipe off the foundation or concealer. This one's by Mirabella. It's a lot older, so I don't think they make this one anymore. There's hardly any color to it, honestly. I didn't want a lot of color anyways. And then what I like to do is go in with a setting spray. I have this one by Morphe, and from a distance just spray that. This one smells like strawberries for some reason, which I don't particularly care for, but it's alright. Okay, so here we are. We did it. We completed the look. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned a couple things and help support me by liking, commenting, sharing, and then also subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. Please let me know if you have any different ideas of things that you would like to see. I'm so open to it, and I can't wait to create more videos. We're doing a natural makeup, and this is just what we're gonna do. Okay. Our Apri-Cot in the middle. That's your cot in the middle. That's cute. You might do it for me.